here at the American Treasure Tour Museum. You will hear the other two play later in your tram ride.
Alrighty, so here's the extra band organ. I was talking about this black one right here. Now it's a Burlington military band organ. The reason why I don't really play it for our group tours is because it's really, really loud. And to help you guys out, we turned off half the horns, so it's not going to blow your ears, I promise. Actually, the horns that you see are not the horns that are playing. But it's a really pretty sound, and I hope you guys enjoy it.
Ladies and gentlemen, on your left is the beginning of one of the most popular exhibits here at the American Treasure Tour Museum. Lit Brothers Department Store's enchanting Colonial Village Christmas display. You will see 9 of the original buildings that were originally on display at Lit Brothers 1960s and could be seen every Christmas season until Lit Brothers closed their doors in 1977. A local man named Thomas Comerford was the Lit Brothers house designer and worked with a German company to come up with this design in the style of a colonial village. As we slowly travel along, the majority of the buildings will be on your left. But as we come around the first corner on our right, a smaller scale animated display from Macy's department store in Philadelphia. These were on display in their New York City location in the early 1960s. This display shows a Victorian-era Christmas along with a church scene and nativity. After they were seen in Macy's, they were sold to Hershey Park and were a part of their Candy Cane Lane Christmas display. Of course, after winter and Christmas comes springtime and Easter, which we have represented by all of the bunnies, ducks, chicks, and even Easter eggs. Don't miss the giant peeps included in this display. Peeps are made not too far away in Bethlehem, Pennsylvania. Just up ahead on your left, you will find one of the most recognizable families in America, The Simpsons. The Simpsons are the longest-running primetime show in television history. They started in 1989. In the corner of this room, you will find the giant papier-mâché Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs. They were the prized possession of Irene Higgins and were donated in her memory by her daughters. They are one of a very few number of donated items in this collection. Practically everything else you see on display has been purchased by our mystery collector. Before you leave this room, don't miss on the end to your right, Pinocchio, starring in his very own puppet show.
And on the stars, there's no difference who you are. Anything your heart desires will come.
Еще один орган.
Yeah.
Show bearers. They are exact replicas painted by Lancaster County artist Jill Fay. They are exact replicas except for their size. When we commissioned her to paint
А там следующий заедет.
we asked her to shrink them down. We wanted to fit many acts on each wall. Originally, they would have been so large they could have filled the whole wall on their own. They were early forms of marketing and were meant to attract people from a distance. Miss Fay also painted cartoon characters and clowns. So sit back, relax, enjoy the artwork, the miniatures on your left, and some more music.
Да здесь невозможно все увидеть.
Hi. Daddy, let's go. Daddy.
Everywhere you go in the toy box, you will find airplanes hanging over your head. These are hobbyist-built radio-controlled airplanes
Это
and are
настоящие
works of
самолеты.
art in their own right. We have close to 300 of them.
Представляешь? Настоящие модели все. Радиоуправляемые модели все. Настоящие.
On the left of the tram, there are Halloween masks. These were made by the Collegeville Costume Company that was in business for 50 years until 1994. When the costume company went out of business, our collector bought out their entire stock of costumes and masks.
Понимаешь?
Collegeville is one exit west of us on
Понимаешь,
Route
что это?
422. You will also find 4 of the Three Stooges hanging out on the wall. 10 different actors have portrayed a Stooge over the years. We like the Stooges so much, we named our trams after them.
Нет, пешком ты здесь не можешь. Пешком ты туда можешь. Ты пустой. Две руки меньше. Клюшки. Прикинь, чувак, сколько денег потратил на эту коллекцию. Вау. Всего банка.
As we travel into the next area, you will find trucks on your left that were made about 100 years ago. The first old truck is a GMC, followed by a rare Pierce Aero truck that is dark green. The brighter green truck is the Mack. After the Mack is the Nash Quad, and across from the trucks is the unlikely trio of Teddy Kennedy, Britney Spears, and Donald Trump. We had no idea what these three had in common until we found out they were each on separate Mardi Gras floats in New Orleans. The Nash Quad deserves a second look. It is a World War I era truck. It has a wooden body. 40,000 of them were made and most were shipped overseas. This truck is the 35th documented Nash Quad known to exist. Nash was the company that manufactured it, and it is called a quad because it has four-wheel drive, four-wheel steering, four-wheel brakes, and four-speed transmission. On your left is none other than Charles Entertainment Cheese, also known as Chuck E. Cheese, with his pizza-loving friends Mr. Munch and Helen Henney. Standing behind are the Warblets. Chuck E. Cheese has been serving pizza and fun since 1977.
Well, hello everybody, and welcome to our show. Come on, gang, let's salute all the good people who are out there working for a living. How about it? Someday forever, and someday pass on by. I'll be working here forever, at least until I die. Done if you do, and done if you don't. I'm supposed to get a raise next week, and no darn well I won't. I'll be working for a living, working for a living, working. I'm working for a living. Working for a living isn't bad at all when you have as much fun working as we do, right, gang? So hang around and enjoy the pizza. Don't go away, folks. We'll be back in a few minutes. We're taking what we're given because we're working for a living.
Moving along, the world's largest Gumby, stretching 20 feet high. On the front wall is the Drowsy Chaperone sign. This is a sign that hung on Broadway in New York City. In front of that beautiful Broadway sign is the best of our music. The machine in the middle is the only Wurlitzer model, number 175, ever made. It started its life playing for a carousel in Denver, Colorado. When it was purchased to bring here, it was in very bad condition, having been stored and unplayed for many years. It took a year of restoration work to bring it back to life. There are so many moving parts to these machines that all have to work together to produce a beautiful sound. The fact that they are still playing is a testament to the design, engineering, and construction that went into these splendid music makers. As you listen, keep in mind that the designers of these machines wanted them not only to play beautiful music, but to be beautiful to look at as well. Now that was surely beautiful, but we can top it. We have two band organs that we will play for you. Like the golden yellow colored machine that you heard earlier, these are our other two Wurlitzer Model 165s. As we travel along on your right, we have a full-size, beautiful red airplane called a Denny Kitfox. It is an amateur-built airplane, and the wings fold up, so you can build it in your garage, and that is also how you transport it to the airport. Just past the airplane is Manny, Mo, and Jack, better known as the Pep Boys, who started their business in Philadelphia in 1921. After the Pep Boys, check out the beautiful Dodge 440 Coronet from 1968. This car represents the muscle car era, and it is a smooth and a fast ride. The next classic automobile is a 1956 Robbins Egg Blue Cadillac Sedan DeVille. When this car was introduced, gasoline was a whopping 20 cents a gallon. This is a very large luxury automobile. We also have a 1924 Cadillac on display. That is in the walking portion of your visit today. Make sure you go and find it when your tram ride ends. Beyond the Cadillac are 1950s delivery and pickup trucks with a Dodge Power Wagon and a red Ford pickup on this end of the row. Beside the Statue of Liberty, you will find what was the loneliest guy in town, the Maytag repairman. Jesse White is pictured here, and he was the first of 5 men to play this part in Maytag's commercials. He is not so lonely anymore, as we purchased a Maytag rigger washer for him to work on. Before we make this last turn, it would be a good time to tell you that we do group, corporate, and student tours, as well as birthday parties and scavenger hunts here at the American Treasure Tour. Plan your next group adventure with us. And speaking of adventures, on the left we have a small fire truck that was used on many trips around this building. This is a working fire truck and is a relic of the old B.F. Goodrich tire factory. This little fire truck would take 2 workers around the huge factory and aid in putting out small machine fires, taking first aid to workers and in the cleanup of chemical spills. As we round the corner, look right to find a 1948 Hudson Commodore. Hudson was the first car manufacturer in the United States to hire a female designer. Her name was Betty Thatcher, and she designed dashboards. On the left, there is a 1934 Buick, a beautifully styled automobile. This automobile has suicide doors that open opposite each other. If you like classic movies, this was the style car that would be the getaway car for the bank robbers. This car even has a bullet hole in the back of it that you can see when you take a walk through more classic cars after your tram ride. On the right, there is a 1909 Sears and Roebuck motor buggy that one could order out of the Sears catalog. This is the car that looks like a carriage. It was $395 when it was new and features a tiller bar rather than a steering wheel. The wooden wheels are attired with hard rubber. That is where the word tire comes from. Sears advertised it was so easy to drive even a child could do it. Next to the Sears auto buggy is the 1949 Ford. Observe how fast the automotive industry advanced in 40 years from the Sears car to this Ford, nicknamed the Shoebox. After World War II ended, Ford was the only automotive company to immediately come out with a new model, and this car was it. People loved the Shoebox and bought it by the thousands. The last 2 cars on the right are the Crossleys. They were very small cars in an era when most Americans were looking for large automobiles. Crosley didn't make his fortune in automobiles, but was famous for his radios. He sold thousands of radios that, along with other brands, helped put all the band organs and Nickelodeons out of business. Please remain seated until dismissed by your tram guide.
Thank you guys so much for joining me on the American Treasure Tour. We will check out the car room if you didn't get a chance to. Check out the music room as well. And we also have brochures for our Antique and Collectors Fair March 14th and 15th.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Very interesting.